Good evening. Welcome to Mind Matters, where every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. we explore mental health issues. I'm your host, Dr. Cassandra Wanzo. I'm a psychiatrist and have been practicing in the Atlanta area for 28 years. Our co-host is Officer Paul Devine, who has over 20 years of law enforcement experience. He will be joining us next week. We're affectionately known as the Doc and the Cop. It is truly a blessing to be back on the air. We've just finished celebrating Thanksgiving, which is a time of reflection and gratitude. I'm especially thankful to be alive, as I suffered a major heart attack and congestive heart failure earlier this year. Going through this experience has had a profound effect on me. It's caused me to confront my own mortality. We all know that death is a part of life, but my own mortality was something that I never spent a lot of time dwelling on. My heart attack forced me to deal with my own mortality. It caused me to re-examine my life and my priorities. There was a point where I didn't know if I was going to make it, as my heart was functioning at less than 50% of normal capacity. Physically, I suffered from fatigue. I had to be in bed by 8 p.m. because I was so tired. I could only walk so far and I would experience shortness of breath. There were all sorts of medical procedures that I went through, including a cardiac catheterization, which by themselves could have resulted in death. Emotionally, I battled feelings of anxiety and depression. Is this it? Will I have to retire? Will I survive? Will I have another heart attack? Do I need to make sure all of my affairs are in order? Do I need to plan my funeral? These were all thoughts and feelings that I experienced. I placed my faith in God. I made several life changes. My cardiologist had recommended I become vegetarian. While I didn't become vegetarian or vegan, I did eliminate beef, lamb, and dairy from my diet. Dairy was a big one because I'm from Wisconsin, the dairy state. I was a cheesehead. Giving up dairy was the hardest part. I still have some ice cream in the freezer that I've had there for 11 months that I haven't managed to throw out. But I haven't had any ice cream in 11 months. In addition to the dietary changes, I started working out with the trainer and started going to the gym. I've also learned to work on reducing my stress. I'm learning to let a lot of stuff go. I've also had to get rid of some toxic relationships. Okay, I guess you know who you are. I've changed my I've changed my work schedule. I was known as workaholic. At one time, I had 4 different jobs. Do y'all remember the Headleys from the show Living Color? They were a West Indian family, and they said that someone was lazy if they didn't have at least 4 jobs. So I was living, even though I'm not West Indian, I did have 4 jobs. So to them, if you didn't have 4 jobs, you were lazy. There is a stereotype of what a West Indian family is, and that they have at least 4 jobs. What do you say, Mr. Oliver? Is that true? 4 jobs? I've also reduced my work schedule and my workload. I used to work every Saturday in my office. Now I work 2 Saturdays a month. What's been the best thing is I've appreciated spending more time with my family and friends. I've made an effort to reconnect with old friends, finding a lot of them through Facebook. So I've reconnected with friends from high school. I've gone to some high school reunions that I had never gone to before. Connected with friends from college. I've gone to several college reunions. Connected with friends from med school and gone to med school reunions for the first time after graduating in 1970. I went to my first med school reunion. I really cherish my time with my family. I'm so thankful for my family. For Thanksgiving, my brother came from Gulfport, and my sister came from Milwaukee, and my niece stayed with me, and we had a wonderful time. We went to my cousin's for Thanksgiving, and it was a joyous time. And then my brother and I went to the Falcons Saint game. He's a big Saints fan. I had fun yelling, "Who dat? Who dat? Who dat said they gonna beat them Saints?" Even though I'm a Packers fan, I had fun yelling that. It was really a lot of fun. There were a lot of Saints fans there. That was my first time in the new Mercedes-Benz arena, but I did have my Green Bay Packers gear on. I really had a lot of fun. My sister and niece and I went shopping. We went to see the movies, Harriet and Queen and Slim. The whole weekend really seemed to fly by so quickly. I teared up when they left, but I consoled myself by saying, "You're going to see them again in 3 weeks. We're all going to Gulfport for Christmas to my brother's home." So I really look forward to that. Family has become even more important for me. There was a time when I would spend Christmas with my family, but then I would leave to go out of town and spend New Year's Eve in some exotic place in the Caribbean or in South Africa. But this time, I decided that I want to be with my family, so I'm spending a full 8 days in Mississippi with my family for Christmas. This is the first time in my adult life that I've gone a whole year without leaving the country. That's significant because I've always gone at least one place out of the country every year. Also, what was a really big celebration and source of joy for me this year was the marriage of my son and my new daughter. Family and friends came from around the country. My house was full. It was full of people and full of love. The wedding was fantastic. It was in an art gallery. The reception and the wedding were held at the art gallery. The food was vegan, and to my surprise, I really enjoyed the food. It's been truly a blessing to see the love between them. My prayer next is for a grandchild. I'm thinking of saying that Prince said, "Life is just a party, and parties weren't meant to last. My new daughter truly is my daughter. She's so loving and caring, everyone thinks she's my biological daughter. They say you only live once. Actually, you live every day. You only die once. Let me repeat that. People say you only live once. No, you live every day. You only die once. By facing my own mortality, I've embraced life more fully. I would love to hear from you all there in the listening audience. If you have any comments or thoughts, the number to call is 678-619-1402, 678-619-1402. Again, that number is 678-619-1402. So there are many ways that we can prepare for death. The first thing is accepting your own death and your own mortality. Death is what awaits all living things. Learning to accept your own mortality and death will help you to live your life to the fullest. I know it has for me. By facing mortality, I now enjoy life even more. I get so much fulfillment out of each day. So it's important to talk about it because people fear things that they don't know about and they don't talk about. So it's important to talk about it. When I mentioned this topic to a couple of people, they felt kind of nervous and anxious because that is something that we don't often talk about. So it's important to talk about death and your own mortality, things that you want and don't want, your own death. Now, for me, the one thing I know, I don't want to be cremated. That's for sure. The idea of, cremation is not appealing to me. Some things you can do to prepare to live more fully. If you've made poor choices in the past, then what you can do is try to reframe your memory and to focus on the things that you've done. Seek forgiveness. First, forgive yourself. Be honest in admitting your faults and ask for forgiveness from others. Then you can move on with a new perspective and make better choices. While two rights don't make a wrong, don't fix a wrong. Participating in a positive experience that relates to a mistake that you made can help you feel better. It's important to embrace your faith, your belief. Studies show that people who have faith or religious belief are generally more accepting of death than those without any religious beliefs. Those who believe in an afterlife face less anxiety about their own death. I remember my mother, she went to the emergency room. She had to be resuscitated. And after the resuscitation, she told us how the place that she had gone, death was so beautiful. We were like, well, I've heard people say that, but to hear her say that was really touching. The best way you can do to prepare for death is to live a fulfilling life. That's by making the most of each day and living in the present. That's the best way to accept death. Say the things you want others to hear from you as you go along. Do the things you want to do now instead of putting them off for later. Slow down and appreciate what you have. I know there's some people who save for retirement and they work and then they often don't get a chance to spend the money that they've accumulated. So don't wait until you retire to enjoy life. Enjoy life now, each day as you go along. everyone is fulfilled in different ways. So think about what brings you joy, what brings you happiness, and look for ways to incorporate those things into your daily life. If you have lived a satisfying life, then you won't feel so sad about leaving it. Some other things that you can do is take stock on your life emotionally. Try to focus on the positive aspects of your life and the positive effects that you've had on people. If your reflection drudges up memory of people you've wronged, reach out to those people and apologize. You can't take your pride to the grave. If you realize that some people have had a massively positive impact on your life, reach out to them and let them know. Face your fears. Facing your fears one step at a time will help you decrease your fear. If you have strong fears about death, spending time with people who have terminal illnesses could be a step in facing your fears. You could volunteer in a nursing home, hospital, or hospice to help you connect with people facing death. These individuals have a unique perspective and insight that can affect your perspective. These positive relationship experiences with death and dying over time can replace your negative thoughts about death. There was something that I came across, a term that's based on the Swedish words for death and cleaning, dödsstädning. It's called death cleaning. It refers to the decluttering of your life and calls for mindful clearing of possessions prior to death. It's important to focus on the mindfulness. It's not a frantic dumping of items, but it's an intentional inventory of items, deciding what can be donated, what can be given to a loved one, or trashed. When done mindfully, this cleaning out of things before death can help a person better prepare mentally for what is ahead and cling less to the things of the world. I remember my mother going through this process, but I didn't think anything of it. She went through all her possessions and cleaned out, and she obviously had some insight that she was going to be dying. This was after the experience where she was revived in the emergency room. So she went through and decluttered and removed belongings, and I remember her doing that, but like I said, I didn't make anything of it. But what it does is it helps those who will be around after you pass in terms of taking away the burden and the time and of having to go through all your possessions and belongings. Another way to prepare is preparing your paperwork. So one of the most important things you can do to accept your death is to make sure that your paperwork is in order. This helps to remove the burdens from your loved ones. So this includes documents like your will, a prepaid funeral plans. I know I have a burial insurance because I've known of several people when they've died, people have had to do GoFundMe and raise funds to try to pay for their funeral, but I do have burial insurance, which really helps in terms of those who are after you. Okay. So give life to your mortality. Give life to your own mortality by thinking about it, taking action to prepare for it, and talking about death with a supportive community. Accepting death doesn't mean being happy about it. It means preventing fears about death from taking up valuable space in your life. Again, we would love to hear from you. The number to call is 678-619-1402. 678-619-1402. Again, 678-649-1402. So Penny just handed me a portfolio about leaving a legacy instead of leaving a mess. So I'm going to read that when I get home. But things like the legal and financial preparation, like a will, a living trust, power of attorney, getting your money in order, life insurance, paying for your funeral. So those are some things you can do. So make it easy as possible for the people you leave behind. Also, the logistics in terms of what you want to be done at the time of your death. What do you want to happen to your body? Do you want burial, cremation, organ donation? As I said, no cremation for me. What songs do you want at your funeral or celebration of life? What photos do you want displayed with your obituary? Who do you want to speak at your celebration of life? And any other details? I know I want to wear purple. Write your obituary. There is no etiquette that forbids you from writing your own obituary. It's a good way to not only ensure the obituary is what you want it to be, but it can also take a significant burden off your loved ones. If you write your obituary, give it to the person who will be responsible for submitting it to the local newspaper. If there are things you want to say to your loved ones upon your death, make a film or video or write a goodbye message or letter that can be released at your celebration of life or memorial service. Make this a positive, loving message. Remember that the people you leave behind will be in emotional pain upon your death. This is not the time to have the last word in an ongoing argument. So the mental preparation is also very important. If you acknowledge what frightens you about death, you can work towards reconciling it in your mind and through action. For example, if your biggest fear is the loved ones you will leave behind, take the steps to make it easier for the transition than it would be otherwise. If your biggest fear is the potential pain of dying, discuss pain management options with your health provider. Examine what you fear and take steps to erase that fear. I know for me, pain is a big thing. I have a low pain tolerance, so I would want to talk to someone about pain management. In addition to the mental preparation, spiritual preparation. Depending upon your faith, there may be sacraments or rituals that you can do to ready yourself for death. Speak with your religious leader about specific steps you can take prior to passing away. If you have never delved into any faith, exploring this option now may bring you some comfort. And finally, not finally, but accept death. Accept death. Everyone will die. Acknowledging that dying is something that will happen to every person and it's inevitable may help you to accept your impending death. If you have trouble with this, speak to a licensed mental health professional who can help you walk through these complex thoughts and emotions. Enjoy life now. Enjoy each day. Depending on your health or illness, your health may not allow you to travel the globe or to do skydiving and mark those off your bucket list. But you can enjoy the present by surrounding yourself with people you love, reading books, or listening to music that brings you joy. Appreciating things like the sun shining or the birds chirping. Do things that bring you pleasure and make you happy. Live every moment to the fullest as much as possible. Whether you prepare for death or not, it will happen. It's far better to prepare beforehand and die in peace, knowing your loved ones aren't burdened with making decisions that you should have made. Again, like Prince says, life is just a party, and parties weren't made to last. Again, audience, we would love to hear from you. The number to call is 678-619-1402, 678-619-1402, 678-619-1402. I'm so thankful and happy to be in the land of the living. And I do try to live each day to the fullest. And I do plan to travel again outside of the country. Like I said, it's been a year since I've been any place, but I do plan to go somewhere. I don't know where, but I will be going somewhere next year. Thinking about maybe the Greek Isles or someplace. So this year for me, the only travel has been stateside, but it's been to reunions and to see family, and it's been wonderful. And I just feel so thankful and grateful to be alive. Again, if anyone out there has any comments, are we getting any feedback on any answers or questions? Okay. Okay. So the number to call is 678-619-1402, 619-1402. Okay, so another happy event that happened this year is I'm from Milwaukee, and my father was pastor of Metropolitan Baptist Church for over 40 years and served a number of years as assistant pastor. He spent over 40 years in that church. I was raised in that church, have so many fond memories there of everything that happened. I got married in that church, and it's just so many memories. So the Common Council of Milwaukee did recognize my father and did an honorary street naming where they named the street in front of the church after him, Reverend Willie D. Wanzo. So we all went there in September for the street unveiling. It was a joyous time. Cousins and nephews and people from all over came to the street naming. We had many dignitaries. The mayor of Milwaukee, Tom Barrett, he spoke at the street naming. He had very fond memories of my father. Because one thing about my father and the church wasn't just there doing nothing. My father called it the voice on the corner. The church was a hub for all kinds of activity in the community. Like they fed the homeless every day. People voted there. They had mentoring programs, tutoring. It was such an active part of the community. So they did the honorary naming of the street after my father. We had the mayor, The Congresswoman Gwen Moore wasn't able to attend, but she sent a representative and issued a proclamation. There were other officials who attended, and it was just a joyous time and celebration to be there for the street naming ceremony. So been so many wonderful things that have happened to me. Like I said, I've learned to not work as hard, to enjoy life more, which is something that we all can do each day, and think about what we can do to eliminate stress in our lives. You know, things we oftentimes take ourselves and others too seriously. So we just need to learn to let go and relax. I mean, I know one thing is this traffic in Atlanta can be very tense, and someone won't let you into the lane or whatever. We get all angry and frustrated, and some people just, I mean, their blood pressure rises. So you just have to learn like water off a duck's back, just to let it go and don't get all worked over situations, you know, in traffic or whatever it is. It's not worth getting worked up and angry for, because when you get worked up and angry, it affects your body, your blood pressure, your heart rate. And if your blood pressure is high, it can actually bring on a heart attack or stroke. So it's something that I work on every day, because I know different things I would get angry and upset and flustered and worried about. And worry doesn't do anything but affect your body in a negative way. Worry and anxiety don't change the outcome. It just puts stress on your body. So the best thing is I know it's easy to say don't worry, but it's something that we need to make a conscious choice to not to worry and to try to be happy. I mean, being happy does have a positive effect on your body. Being happy helps to increase your immune functioning. It increases all the positive hormones in your life. So I know there are things that can bring you down, but you have to learn how not to let circumstances in your life affect you. Being happy is a choice. It's something you can choose to do every day. You can choose every day to be happy. And I really wish this for everyone who's listening, to be happy, to enjoy life, to live life a long, long time. And don't, like I said, just put your enjoyment off for tomorrow. Don't say, well, once I retire, I can enjoy life and do the things that I want to do. No, enjoy them now. Do not put them off. I've heard of so many people who wanted to wait till they're retired to travel and enjoy life. Don't put it off. Do it now. Now, just like that. I think it's Adidas said, just do it. You just do it. Don't put it off. So I hope that you all out there are really taking heed to what I'm saying and preparing for your mortality by preparing mentally, by doing the necessary paperwork, preparing spiritually, by decluttering your life. I know myself, one day I threw out 7 bags of stuff. I mean, stuff. I can't even tell you what it was, but stuff that I've accumulated over the years. And I know my sister and my niece and I, we went shopping, but I really didn't buy anything. I really don't need any more stuff. I have more stuff than I know what to do with. I mean, my closets are full. I need to get rid of stuff. And I know my sisters and my niece, they come to my closet and shop in my closet. So that's what I'm trying to do, get rid of stuff, because I don't need all this stuff. So preparing and facing your own mortality does help you to live life to the fullest, you know. And I know the holidays are approaching, and that can be a time of sadness and depression for many, because oftentimes it may be the first time that you've experienced a holiday without your mother, your sister, your aunt, or a loved one. but just know that they are looking down on you, and enjoy your life, and do something in honor of them. Start new traditions that maybe you didn't before. Our tradition, our family, we would always go home to Milwaukee for Christmas. But after the death of my parents, our new tradition is we now go to our brothers in Gulfport. And it's warm, the weather's warm. Whereas in Wisconsin, I mean, you would never know what the weather would be like. It could be a blizzard. But Gulfport, you have so much to do. There are shopping outlets there. The casinos for those who like to gamble, although the casinos have shows, and just spending time with family, good eating. My brother and his wife love to cook. They're the perfect host. I mean, the house is full, but like I said, the house is full of people and full of love. So I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving and were able to spend it with your family. Enjoy the family time. Sometimes in families things get out of hand and out of control. And oftentimes that is a result of alcohol, too much alcohol. So I just want to caution people that, when you drink moderately. Don't get, drunk or sloppy drunk. And because when you drink, what it does, it disinhibits you. In other words, it causes you to do things that maybe you wouldn't have done if you hadn't had that drink. So just, do everything in moderation. Drinking in moderation, eating in moderation, so you can truly enjoy the holidays, and you can enjoy the company of your family and your friends. And it's not the time to bring up old arguments and disagreements. I mean, that combined with alcohol can lead to all kinds of negative situations. Again, if you would love to comment or have any input, please call us 678-619-1402, 678-619-1402. So next week we will have another show. I'm not sure what the content is, but it's something. If you have any ideas or suggestions of something that you would like to hear, please contact us and let us know. We're open to any suggestions that you might have as far as content. We believe in helping to expand positive mental health. Because mental health is something just like death that a lot of people don't want to talk about. There's a stigma surrounding mental health, but many people experience issues such as depression, bipolar disorder, and it's really nothing to be ashamed of. Mental illness is our medical illnesses, because when you become depressed or bipolar or anxiety, there are certain chemical changes that go on in the body as if you had high blood pressure or diabetes, and it's okay to get help. Getting help is really a sign of strength, not a sign of weakness. Oftentimes during the holidays, people become sad and may have thoughts of taking their lives. So if someone you know is expressing thoughts of wanting to die, please take them seriously. Don't say, oh, I thought they were just joking or playing. If anyone is voicing any thoughts of wanting to die or wishing they were dead, take them very seriously. Anyone can become depressed. Child, adolescent, adult, elderly. No one is immune from depression. And especially during the holidays, people can become more depressed because of all the pressures that go along with the holiday. The pressure to spend money that you don't have, money to try to impress other people. If you don't have the money, make a budget. If you don't have the money, then just spend what you can afford. And if you can't afford the money, there are all kinds of other gifts that don't involve money, like the gift of time, volunteering to babysit or spend time or do something with someone. That's a very important gift. Baking something, baking cookies, cooking, those are all gifts. It doesn't have to be financial. I noticed that on there's the Black Friday where people go frantically shopping, and People wonder, well, why would someone, do that? Why would they, get up early in the morning and just go be involved in the stampede? A lot of it has to do with people thinking that, wow, that there's some like adrenaline rush or some pleasure from the endorphin system that they get from this shopping. And sometimes it's what we call herd mentality, just to go along with the herd, and people often act like animals in such situations. I don't know. I'm not one to enjoy the Black Friday. I suppose it gives some people pleasure, but it just seems so risky, and there's so much negativity involved, and people, trying to get this TV or this toy, from someone else. And then a lot of people do the shopping online, the Cyber Monday. So to me, that seems like a much more safer and healthy way is to do it online rather than, stampeding someone else in the store to get someone. Which also brings to mind when people were going crazy over the Popeyes chicken sandwich. Why do people do it? It's part of the herd mentality to go along. Also has a lot to do with marketing. The people who do the marketing, they know what they're doing. And as far as the Popeyes chicken sandwiches, that was primarily marketed to the African American community. So you don't have to always, fall for the hype, for the okie doke, just because someone is trying to market you something. You don't have to have it. I mean, I don't know what the Popeye chicken, sandwich tastes like, but what I've, found myself in terms of trying to do healthy living is avoiding fast foods, because generally those are not healthy for you. So it's best to eat, foods that are prepared at home, because you know what ingredients are in them. You know what kind of spices, if they use saturated fat, butter, rather than, going to fast foods, you really don't know what's in the food. So it's best to eat what you know that's been prepared. So I want to thank all the listeners. We're still open if you have any suggestions for future shows or any comments on what we've talked about tonight. The number again to call in is 678-619-1402. 678-619-1402. Miss Penny, anything you want to add or any thoughts or anything? Okay, she's in training. But yes, so live your life to the fullest. Enjoy each day. Don't put things off, because we don't know. Tomorrow is not promised to anyone. So make today the best day that you can. Love your family. Tell them that you love them, because we often don't. So tell them that you love them. Your children, whether they're grown, tell them that you love them. Give them a hug. I know when I was growing up in the church, every year, like on my father's anniversary, there was a woman in the church. She would sing this song called "Give Me the Roses." Give me the roses while I'm alive, while I can breathe, while I can see them. So give everyone the roses while they're alive and can appreciate them. Just want to know that I love you all. And I hope you've had a wonderful year so far, and hope that 2020 brings you so much more. This is Dr. Wanzo signing off on Mind Matters at WCEG Talk Radio, part of the Worldwide Empowerment Group. We'll see you